Alright, hey Stat 213 crew. So we are going to spend a few minutes just introducing this nested f-test. And so we're going to have a couple of motivations where we'll go through the first one right now. And so if you remember, we had that example when we talked about multicollinearity with the body fat. And so in this example, we had body fat percentage as the response. We had a bunch of different candidate predictors. But suppose just for this kind of motivational thing that we just have three predictors: weight, height, and abdominal circumference. And so we've already seen a hypothesis test if we want to see if there's evidence that at least one of those predictors is associated with body fat percentage. That was just our overall f-test with a null hypothesis that all of those beta coefficients were equal to 0. We've also already seen a test where we want to determine if just one of those predictors is associated with the response body fat percentage after accounting for the effects of the other predictors in the model. And so, for example, we might want to see if weight or if height is associated with body fat percentage after accounting for the effects of weight and abdominal circumference. And so that would be the null hypothesis for that test. What we haven't seen yet is something like if we wanted to test maybe whether weight or height were associated with body fat percentage after accounting for the effects of the abdominal circumference. And so a null hypothesis like that, if we're interested in either height or weight, would look like that. The alternative would just be that at least one of those two beta coefficients is different than 0. And if I wanted to write out this null hypothesis in words, it might be something like neither height nor weight is associated with body fat percentage after accounting for the effects of that third variable. Okay, so we haven't seen how to test this, and so this is our first motivation for the nested f-test, because this nested f-test is going to allow us to conduct a hypothesis test like this. We'll get into motivation 2 in the next video, which will actually take a fair bit longer. We'll go into having a categorical variable that has more than 2 different categories and what that means for our model.